The Lighthouse Library employs a redefined visual and programmatic concept that guides access to necessary public resources in downtown Chicago. The strategy examines 4 key points that drive this motivation to restore the image and role of the City Branch Library. The proposal confronts prevalent site conditions to successfully initiate major shifts from private entities to public spheres. Modeled after a lighthouse, the library serves as both a source of guidance for users and as a symbolic architectural element. The design practices fluidity and flexibility of spaces to reflect the accessible channels of the city. And lastly, the library encourages the reclamation and revitalization of public spaces in this particular area. Located at the intersection of Chicago Avenue and Lakeshore Drive, the Lighthouse Library is a response to a unique paradox that exists at the root of this site. The site sees a constant influx of traffic, from the vehicular roads, public transportation routes, pedestrian paths, and popular leisure points. The site itself is a nexus of activity and access. Although the location is an ideal public hub, this relationship, however, is challenged by the existence of private institutions, such as Northwestern Law School, Northwestern Med School, as well as a number of associated hospital and commercial complexes, the famed and well-visited Museum of Contemporary Art, and various high-end residential apartments, which cater to a private demographic. These buildings surround the site on 3 sides, which then create a wall between public and private spheres. The Lighthouse Library breaks this barrier by revamping the physical and programmatic existence of a public space. The design draws from this approach by prioritizing visual relationships to the outside, extending the scheme of continuous circulation, and creating unique and contrasting geometries connecting the inside world to the outside world. Movement at the site primarily circulates from Chicago Avenue, Lakeshore Drive, and the underground tunnel that connects both points. The library not only extends its reach to those within its periphery, but to those in passing, becoming a vertical extension of its larger site. The design considers these paths, creating 3 access points for users: the main entrance to the ground level, the Chicago Avenue stair entrance to the basement level, and the Lakeshore Drive stair entrance to the tunnel. Much like a lighthouse, the library's building envelope reflects a very unique geometry that calls attention to its program and presence. The structure primarily surrounds a central service and circulation core, with staircases winding around the core at varying widths and lengths. The strategy centralizes the structural elements and draws the flow from the outside into the interior and upward. The shifting floor plates encourage the continuous movement and exploration throughout the building, while the faceted exterior translucent skin provides an aesthetic glow against the backdrop of orthogonal buildings. Additionally, the library's position at the edge of the lakefront gives rise to the idea of architecture as an impetus for public gathering and interaction. Its existence changes the identity of the public lakefront site from being dominated by private institutions to one being the converging point of diverse interaction between people and places. The Lighthouse Library, in turn, becomes a resource for all. To reflect the visible patterns of the city, the spaces within the library highlight the flexible circulation and program, allowing library visitors to use every perimeter freely. The open floor plan and wide stairs provide areas for reading, learning, playing, and gathering, while enclosed exterior terraces enable the public to retreat to the outside. The Lighthouse Library provides the public with an occupiable escape. It brings people and resources together, giving power back to the public realm. Ultimately, with these strategies at hand, the Lighthouse Library breaks down the many boundaries created by its site conditions. As a result, it opens the door to a transformative space and experience, advocating for the channels of activity and movement populated by Chicagoans and visitors alike.